Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. So today I'm recording a session for collection. Is one of the important topic of Java, or I can say it's the heart of Java. Without that, everything is incomplete because it is mainly used to perform operation over that objects. When we have multiple objects, collection of objects, thousands of objects, millions, billions of objects, right? How we can process them, how we can be transferred. So normally data structure is one of the important part, right, of every programming language. So same in Java, we have some predefined kind of data structures which we have that can be used to process multiple objects, right? So for that purpose only we are going to use collection. It is a one kind of predefined interfaces which are having some predefined classes and interfaces, right? And so for that we are going to use collection. So the collection framework, that short form is called JCF acronym, is a set of classes and interfaces that help to store, process and manipulate group of objects. So if I have multiple objects, right, and if I want to process it, right, we can go with the collection. So before collection, I can say like there was a one kind of data structures which were used for frequently here called arrays, right? And the other programming language which was a previous programming language like C and C++, which was launched before Java, right, they were using a kind of LinkedList, ArrayList as well, right? But there they were creating manually. But in Java we don't have to worry about it. We do get the predefined classes of it. We can directly utilize them, right? So we have many type of data structures that we will look what are the different type of data structure and how does it work, right? And the hierarchy of JCF, that means iterable is a one kind of interface which is the parent of all the collection interface related classes, okay? And collection is having a three child interface: list, set and queue. So iterable is a parent interface, and iterable having a child like collection, and collection is having a child like list, set and queue. So these all are the interfaces. Iterable is a one interface, collection is also interface, list, set, queue is also like interface. So how many classes comes under it? What is the complete hierarchy? That we are going to understand it. Okay. Now first we have to understand what are the difference between arrays and collection. So arrays is a fixed size, contain the store elements of the same type. So arrays having restrictions, I cannot store different type of values, but collection can having like this kind of flexibility. I can store different type of values as well. Size. Arrays are always a fixed size, must be defined at the time of creation, right? So I can say it is a kind of static memory allocation, because if something is fixed at the time of creating the program, right, that time that is a kind of fixed size, right? Collection is called dynamic because can grow and shrink at the runtime. So depending on your data which you have, right, it can be growth, it can be shrink as well. Data types. So collection can store primitive types and objects both, okay? But collection can store only the object types, not a primitive. If you want to store the primitive, that primitive will go in the form of wrapper classes like integer, double, okay, that can be used. So wrapper class is also one of the way to use the primitive values like that. So there is having internally kind of concepts. If you can watch that wrapper class topic, right, auto boxing, unboxing, so there it is doing internally for it, primitive to wrapper or wrapper to primitive, something like that. Okay, performance wise, that array is faster because it's simple and memory efficient, where collection slightly slow due to additional features and dynamic behavior. Built-in method, arrays doesn't have any predefined methods, but I think Java from there is one class has launched called arrays, which is a utility class, okay? Inside that having some methods which we can use to perform some operation, but that array itself doesn't have any predefined class or predefined method of it, right? But in the collection we have a lot of method, lot of classes, right? That's why collection sometimes is called framework as well. What does it mean of framework? Framework means the kind of framework means it is a collection of classes, collection of methods which can be reduced or work. Like for example, I want to perform sorting. With arrays, what I'm right, I have to write complete sorting logic manually. But in collection, I have to use a single method like sort that can do complete sorting for us, right? In array, suppose I want to perform some kind of like adding element or removing element, right? That was not, I can say, difficult, but yeah, you have to write logic for it. But in collection, we don't have to worry about it. That logic is already implemented. We just have to use them. right? So for that purpose, we can go with the array and collection. So a collection is better because it is having a predefined methods, right? So like add, remove, contain, size, sort. When we will do the implementation at that time, we will see how many methods we have, which is a predefined on the collection. Okay, and some of the homogeneity is store homogeneous element only, but collection can store heterogeneous element as well. Memory allocate memory at the compile time, okay, and it can store a heterogeneous element as well, right? So these are the different type of differences which we have. If someone will ask what are the difference between array and collection, so that we can define them. Array, I already covered some of the topics, some of the examples I have covered it. So if you do not know about arrays, please watch that recording as well. So I've created one separate playlist for it, like kind of data structures. Inside that I have some array kind of example, right? So data structures, if you want to become a good programmer, right? If you want to become a good program, data structure is one of the key for it. If you will go with the data structure, right, that will give you a lot of logics. Okay, normally we do not go and write the logics always for searching, sorting. We do use the predefined one only, right? But why it is important, right? Because with the help of that only, right, we do understand that data flow completely, how does this store the data and everything like that. So I will request, please watch it completely. Okay, do not ignore anything, because that will help you a lot to grow in your IT industry, or you can grow in your Java career path. Okay, that's why I've always told collection or collection is the heart of the Java, because it works on the top of the data structures only, right? Now let's understand the hierarchy of the collection. So collection framework hierarchy in Java, we have a first iterable, which is a parent of all that I can say like interfaces. So here you have to understand with the diagram actually. So you can say interface, whichever is coming in this color, right? That could be interfaces. If something is coming in this color, which is a pink like that, right? That is a class. Implement, if you will come something with dot dot dot, right, that means it is implement. And if it is coming with the solid arrow, that means it is coming with the extend, right? So you can see here iterable collection. So collection just extend the iterable. So interface always extend, right? So that's why you can see here iterable collection, list, queue, set, DQ, sorted set, they all are the interfaces only, right? They, whichever is coming in the green, they all are the interfaces only, and whichever is coming in the pink, that is a kind of classes, right? So iterable is one of the parent interface. Iterable collection are extending iterable, and queue are extending collection, list are extending collection, set are extending collection, right? And then list is having a different type, like 4 type, ArrayList, LinkedList, vector. So every class having some kind of pros and cons depending on the different scenarios. Here pros and cons I'm talking in terms of complexity, in terms of performance. So which one is suitable on what particular scenarios, okay, that we will understand when we do example of it, right? So ArrayList will be better for some scenario, LinkedList is better for some scenario. So better means here I'm talking in terms of performance. So these are the different on the different scenarios. So performance will be different in different scenarios. Even I will explain the complexity part as well. How do you calculate the complexity and everything like that, right? Same thing is like a queue, we have a like priority queue, right? And DQ we have a like array DQ, okay? And set we have a like HashSet, linked HashSet, and that is comes under set. And set is implementing set is extending, sorry, sorted set is extending set. So that's what is coming TreeSet. So TreeSet having a child of sorted set. Map is again one of the most important interface, which I can say like that. But map is not a part of collection. Map is a type of collection. It could be store the data. It does store the data, but it is not a part of collection. Okay, so it is having a different way of implementing that values, like in the key value pair, they all are going to manage the auto indexing, list, queue, and set. As I know, right, when I was covering the arrays, I explained that what is the index. So everything wherever we have stored that multiple things in a single arrays, right, that they will store in the form of index only. So here list, queue, and set, they are going to manage auto indexing, but in terms of map, they are not going to use auto indexing. They are using the value, storing the value in the form of key and value pair. So we have one key and one particular values. So these are the difference between collection, different collection classes. And map, again I'm telling that map is not a part of collection, it is a type of collection. So this is the kind of complete hierarchy if you want to work on that, or if you want to get more on it, right, you have to go through with this hierarchy first. Okay, and then we will understand how does it work in terms of examples. So let's come directly with the examples. So first I'm going to open a one IntelliJ IDEA, okay, and understand with the ArrayList demo. So here ArrayList demo is my own class where I'm creating a simple main method, right? And here if you want to store something, right, I can go with this list example. Okay, so these are the different way that we can do it. So this example I will explain in the second video. This video we just have to see in basics of collection, definitions, and all the different classes, right? Next, how does it work and how does it behave, that we are going to understand in a second recording. Thank you guys, thanks for watching, take care, bye bye.